Welcome to the International Improvate Business Conference, a platform for making long-lasting connections, allowing change makers in technology and decision makers in government to make progress through innovation. Improvate is dedicated to finding solutions and sparking collaborations that improve the quality of life for people around the world. Today, the new world of agriculture. We zoom in on southeastern Europe to hear the challenges they're facing in the future of agriculture and how Israeli innovators can help make the changes they need happen. So who are we going to hear from? Well, here with us in the studio is Improvate's founder and chair, Irina Nevzlin. Co-chairing this conference is former Bulgarian President Rosen Plevneliev. Joining us from Jerusalem, the UN Special Coordinator for the Middle East Peace Process, Nikolai Mladenov. Also taking part, ministers from Israel and southeastern Europe. Israeli Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development, Alon Shuster. Bulgarian Minister of Agriculture, Food and Forestry, Desislava Teneva, Executive Director of Bulgaria's State Fund Agriculture, Vasil Grudev, Bulgaria's Economy Minister, Romanian Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development, Adrian Oros, Theodoros Karoglu, Special Minister for Macedonia and Thrace, Tugomir Majda, Croatia's State Secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture, and Foteni Arampatsi, Greek Deputy Minister of Rural Development and Food. And right here in the studio, we'll also be joined by Greek Ambassador Panayotis Saris, head of the Economic Diplomacy Department of the Greek Embassy, Nicholas Christodoulidis, and Konstantinos Daskalopoulos, First Secretary for Economic and Commercial Affairs at the Greek Embassy, plus Dr. Yaroslav Shviet-Karpovich. He's the Scientific and Economic Counselor at the Polish Embassy in Tel Aviv. And of course, we'll be hearing from 7 of Israel's leading agri-tech companies: AgriGo, AgriGreen, GrowFit, Roots, Adama, AgroScout, and Groundwork BioAg, each one breaking down their solutions for a smart future in agriculture. And this is all very practical. So watching along with us, representatives of investment funds from around the world looking to invest in Israeli companies right now. Let's start off right here in the studio. Israel's Minister of Agriculture, Alon Shuster, it's great to have you with us. And Irina Nevzlin, of course, founder and chair of Improvate. But let's hear from another Israeli company revolutionizing this field. Roots Sustainable Agriculture Technologies is a graduate of the Israeli Chief Scientist Incubation Program. They've been publicly traded since 2017 in Australia, developing an innovative root zone heating and cooling technology sold in several countries.
Introducing Roots Sustainable Agricultural Technologies. Roots, a 2-in-1 heating and cooling solution for your crop. Optimal temperature ranges are required on the root zone level to return maximum quality and yield in crop. When the temperature is outside of those ranges, the crops struggle to grow. Roots technology addresses this dilemma through their patented 2-in-1 heating and cooling solution. How does it work? Using their innovative ground source heat exchange 2-in-1 technology, roots are able to cool the root zone layer during warmer climates and heat the root zone layer during cooler climates. This is achieved using their proprietary ground source heat exchange technology that pumps water through underground pipes to optimize the root zone temperature to a consistent optimal temperature range. This simple solution is quick and easy to install, meaning you'll have higher yields and better quality started with the first crop harvest. All data collected is sent to the cloud and you can monitor and review in real time from your PC or smart device. It's as simple as that.
Well, Boaz Wachtel is the co-founder of 3 publicly traded Australian companies. He himself is also a graduate of that Israeli Chief Scientist Incubation Program. He's also CEO, Chairman, and Chief Innovator at ROOTS, that precise agro-tech company. Boaz, thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you for inviting me.
So let's start with the basics. And for those who are not experts in root zone technology, tell us a little bit about that root zone temperature and what role does it play in making a plant productive?
The temperature of roots is the most critical variable in the health and well-being of the plant. Many companies manage the air in greenhouses with vast amount of energy and pollution. We use very small amount of energy, and we insert a device like this, let's say, in inside pots, and we run water, cold water or hot water. It goes into down here and goes to the next plant. And by that, we maintain an optimal root zone temperature throughout the year, and that has tremendous benefits. First, it saves, compared to air management, something like 80% of the energy.
Wow.
It increases yield, and it saves, it improves the growing cycle, it shortens them, and so on.
So you mentioned it saves an enormous amount of energy. I think it goes without saying how important that is right now and into the future. Why else is this considered such a sort of revolutionary technology in the field?
Because no one was able to develop thus far a root zone heating and cooling in one system. Today, for example, when you heat or cool the air, these are 2 separate systems, yes? And we, in one system, in the roots, we are able to supply optimal range of temperatures for the roots year-round. So that is a radical progression compared to what was used thus far, which is air management in greenhouses. If you combine our system with air heating and cooling, you can actually reduce the air heating and cooling just by using our system and save, let's say, 5 or 6, 7 degrees by the air heating and cooling. Or at times when you have moderate weather, like in Greece or in Israel and so on, you can use this system alone and provide food security and make the farmer happy because of the stability in production it provides.
So you're talking about both heating and cooling. Does this mean it can be relevant anywhere? I mean, tell us a little bit where this technology is active and maybe some examples of how it's already working.
Well, heating of roots is done in Europe, with either electricity, which is very energy-consuming affair. We are the only company in the world that actually cools roots as climate change impacts farming. There's a need to cool the roots and the plants during the summer, and that's what we do with our system. We also integrated to this an irrigation system. It means that now you don't need a separate drip irrigation system and heating and cooling system. With one system, you can irrigate and use the heating and cooling for the pots. We've done it in Israel on a vast number of crops. We saw a yield increase on the ranges of 10 to 40% on average. We saw shortening of growing cycles. We saw less need to use herbicides and pesticides due to the boosting of the immune system of the plant. And that is tremendous because we are educating basically the market of the importance of root zone temperature has in agriculture. And no one was able to do it thus far in a very economically efficient manner like we have.
Yeah. We all think about the air above the plants, but you're actually saying that the real important thing is what happens
Our
below.
motto is happy roots, happy shoots. Shoot is is what's above, and so that's how we revolutionize agriculture, but with this energy saving and so on. Just one word: we have another technology in the development, which is very relevant also for my beloved Greece, which I go every year. For example, access to water in the islands is a very big issue in the islands. We have developed an irrigation by condensation, meaning we can irrigate just from humidity in the air now. Like when you have cold water running in pipes, you have a puddle.
Right.
We run cold water and the humidity condenses, and you can irrigate the plants just from humidity in the air.
Much less waste.
And we will very much like to cooperate with all of Eastern Europe where there's a water problem. We were also in Hungary, and they said there's a desert developing in southern Hungary, so the conditions and the droughts are increasing. And then there is a need for innovative irrigation systems, and we tap it from the humidity in the air.
Well, you're of course surrounded by the people who can help make that happen. As we come to an end here, let me turn it back over to our co-chair, former Bulgarian President Rozan Plevneliev. So after hearing from ministers, diplomats, tech innovators here, give us your sort of closing thoughts on where it all goes from here.
First of all, let me thank you to Improvate team. You guys, you've done a great job. We're very proud of you. Our moderator, Nurit, you were amazing, and we are all grateful to you too. Speaking about Israeli companies that we saw today, we learned a lot from them. We saw the future. We are ready to grab that future. Speaking about, on behalf of all of the politicians, presidents, deputy ministers, ambassadors, so many people that were with us today, I am extremely grateful that you gave us the opportunity at Improvate to come together. We shared ideas, we shared plans, we shared strategic thinkings and understanding, and we shared the same vision. And on top of that, all those countries we're talking about today, with Greece, Bulgaria, Romania, Croatia, and others, all of them are strategic partners of Israel, are friends of Israel with deep-rooted cooperation that goes centuries behind. And all of them love Israel and cooperate in all the fields. And here is the message. This conference, we enjoyed so much, extremely and professionally organized on a world-class event that goes to world-class media, the leading media in Israel, a leading business media in the world are listening to us and are going to see how we come together. But this conference is not just ending. Improvate is a platform to bring business, politicians, everybody who is anybody in the ecosystem together. And this is ahead of us. We had a great conference today, but we do have our plans. Bulgaria, Romania, Greece, Croatia are ready in the next months to host delegations from Israel. Israeli companies will see all the decision makers. They will see the big farmers, the small farmers, the very profitable international giants. They will see the potential. They will see and they will learn. And in a 3 days visit, they will be much more involved into what's going on in this market. And again, talking about Southeast Europe, it's a fast and a very dynamically growing market. It's 20 billion euros per year investments in agriculture. It's $80 billion per year market of itself, and it is growing. And there is no other way to grow but with cooperation with the best. And that's you guys from Israel. Greetings and shalom.
Thanks very much, President Plevneliev. A whole lot of potential, as you say, that is ripe and ready to be used and taken forward. Thanks so much for being with us and, of course, co-chairing all of this. And that is it for us from Improvate's international conference, Smart Agritech in Southeastern Europe. Over the last couple of hours, we've heard, of course, from former Bulgarian President Rozan Plevneliev, UN Special Envoy Nikolai Mladenov, agriculture ministers from Greece to Croatia, Bulgaria, and Israel, all across the region, all of them breaking down what their countries need now for a thriving and sustainable future. But most of all, we got a taste of Israel's leading agri-tech companies, all of them excited to provide tech solutions for this region in its transformation. And that is exactly what Improvate is all about, creating those connections. Thanks for joining us.